Get ready for the action because we are diving straight into the market movers. We start with Ritu Ghosh sharing his analysis on the 4 solid stocks, poised for a massive surge as artificial intelligence powers steady semiconductor sales. This is the insight you need to see right now on how AI is reshaping investment opportunities in the chip sector and what specific stocks analysts are pointing toward for immediate gains.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at major institutional shifts as Premier Fund Managers Limited makes a significant move by cutting its stake in Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company Limited, TSM. We break down the details of this substantial reduction in their holdings, examining the massive buying activity from other players like Thrivent Financial for Lutherans and Jennison Associates, LLC, and what this tells us about the current sentiment surrounding this semiconductor giant. Now, let's turn our attention to the momentum in the penny stock world with Enpro. We explore why Enpro is up nearly 10% after raising its 2026 outlook, specifically focusing on how their increased guidance is directly linked to the strength seen in semiconductor end markets and their growth in advanced surface technologies. We'll dig into the projections and the risks associated with this semiconductor-fueled momentum. Finally, we examine the activity surrounding NXP Semiconductors, NV, as Sequoia Financial Advisors, LLC increases its holdings, bringing in more shares for the semiconductor provider. We review the strong analyst consensus on NXPI and look at the recent insider selling activity from executives like EVP Andrew Mikulev and EVP Andrew Hardy. Don't miss out on this deep dive into the semiconductor landscape, and stay tuned for more market analysis right here. Zacks Investment Research has issued a report highlighting 4 solid stocks to buy, driven by the continued strength in semiconductor sales fueled by artificial intelligence. The analysis, published on May 7, 2026, suggests that the integration of AI is providing a strong tailwind for the semiconductor sector. The report specifically references key tickers including ADI, NVDA, and NXPI, indicating significant investor interest in companies positioned to benefit from this technological shift. The research aims to provide investors with actionable insights for capitalizing on the momentum within the AI-powered semiconductor market. Premier Fund Managers Limited has significantly reduced its investment in Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company Limited, cutting its stake by 41.2% in the 4th quarter, as disclosed in its latest SEC 13F filing. Following the sale of 14,970 shares, the firm now owns 21,330 shares, with the holding valued at $6,396,000 at the time of filing. The semiconductor giant has seen notable activity among other institutional investors. Sergo Cap Partners LP increased its position in the 3rd quarter with a new stake valued at $360,443,000. Thrivent Financial for Lutherans substantially boosted its holdings, increasing its stake by 3,164.9% in the 3rd quarter, resulting in ownership of 1,192,927 shares worth $333,172,000. Other major players have also adjusted their positions. Danica Pension Livsforsikringsaktiesselskab acquired a stake worth $232,924,000 in the 3rd quarter. Man Group plc increased its ownership by 337.1% in the 2nd quarter, now holding 1,053,421 shares valued at $238,589,000. Jennison Associates LLC also increased its position by 6.4% in the 4th quarter, now owning 13,394,299 shares worth $4,070,393,000. Overall, 16.51% of Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing stock is held by hedge funds and other institutional investors. Analyst sentiment surrounding TSM remains largely positive. Several firms have issued upgrades. Weiss Ratings moved its rating from Hold C+ to Buy B on March 20th. Needham & Company LLC raised its price target from $410 to $480 and maintained a buy rating on April 16th. Freedom Capital upgraded the stock to a strong buy on January 15th, while DBS Bank upgraded it to a moderate buy on January 23rd. A consensus rating from various analysts currently stands at buy, with a consensus price target of $404.29. Market performance for TSM has been volatile, with the stock opening at $419.20 on Thursday. The company holds a market capitalization of $2.17 trillion, with a price-to-earnings ratio of 34.88. Following its recent earnings release on February 10th, TSM reported earnings per share of $3.11 for the quarter, achieving a net margin of 46.97% on $30.65 billion in revenue. The company also announced a quarterly dividend of $0.9503 per share, payable on July 9th, representing an annualized dividend of $3.80. In insider activity, VP Borzentine acquired 1,000 shares on March 22nd at an average cost of $55.93 per share, increasing their ownership to 9,051 shares. TSMC is recognized globally as a leading pure-play semiconductor foundry, specializing in manufacturing integrated circuits for fabless and integrated device manufacturers across logic, mixed signal, and advanced nodes critical for mobile, high-performance computing, and AI applications. Enpro, an industrial technology company specializing in proprietary, value-added products and solutions for safeguarding critical environments across the U.S., Europe, Asia-Pacific, and internationally, has seen its stock rise 9.1% following the company's decision to raise its 2026 revenue growth outlook. This adjustment, which now projects growth between 10% and 14%, is closely tied to anticipated momentum in the semiconductor sector. The positive movement is supported by solid first-quarter results, which showed sales of $303 million and a net income of $27.4 million. This growth catalyst is primarily linked to strength in semiconductor end markets and recent acquisitions within the advanced surface technologies segment. However, analysts caution that the company remains exposed to cyclical demand, specifically the performance of the semiconductor and commercial vehicle markets. Key risks persist regarding the successful execution of planned expansion projects and the company's relatively thin profit margins. Enpro projects reaching $1.5 billion in revenue and $224.5 million in earnings by 2029. Current fair value estimates from some community members peg the stock at $300 per share, aligning with its current trading price. Investors are urged to conduct thorough due diligence, examining the balance sheet and potential risks alongside the growth narrative to build their own investment conviction. Sequoia Financial Advisors, LLC, has increased its stake in NXP Semiconductors, NV, by 6.6% in the fourth quarter, acquiring an additional 8,179 shares, bringing their total ownership to 132,275 shares. As of the latest SEC filing, Sequoia Financial Advisors, LLC held approximately 0.05% of NXP Semiconductors, valued at $28,712,000. Other institutional investors have also made moves in the stock. JPL Wealth Management, LLC, purchased a position in the third quarter valued at about $26,000, while CNB Bank added a stake worth approximately $28,000 during the same period. Wexford Capital LP and Kelleher Financial Advisors each acquired positions valued around $31,000, and Community Bank NA purchased a stake worth approximately $37,000. Institutional ownership remains concentrated, with hedge funds and other institutional investors controlling 90.54% of the company's stock. NXP Semiconductors has been the subject of significant analyst attention. Recent reports show a positive sentiment shift, with Wall Street Zen upgrading the stock from a hold to a buy on May 2nd. Jefferies Financial Group raised its price target from $265 to $300 and maintained a buy rating. BNP Paribas Exane increased its target price to $310 with an outperform rating, and Goldman Sachs Group restated its buy rating. Stifel Nicolaus also increased its price target to $250, maintaining a hold rating. Overall analyst sentiment is mixed, with one analyst rating the stock a strong buy, 18 issuing a buy rating, 7 issuing a hold rating, and 1 issuing a sell rating. Channel YouTube data indicates an average rating of moderate buy and an average price target of $291.75 for NXPI. In insider trading news, EVP Andrew Mikulev sold 1,000 shares on March 16th for a total value of $194,580, resulting in a 9.14% decrease in their ownership. Additionally, EVP Andrew Hardy sold 5,289 shares on April 23rd, valued at $1,242,915, marking a 72.36% decrease in their holding. In the last quarter, corporate insiders collectively sold 10,865 shares, worth $2,508,416, representing 0.12% of the company's stock. Financially, NXP Semiconductors recently reported quarterly earnings, posting $3.05 earnings per share, slightly exceeding the consensus estimate of $2.98. The company achieved a revenue of $3.18 billion, a 12.2% year-over-year increase, and a net margin of 21.03%. NXP has set its Q2 2026 guidance for EPS between 3.29 and 3.72, with analysts predicting 13.32 EPS for the current year. The company is a global semiconductor leader, focusing on mixed signal and standard solutions for automotive, IoT, and communication infrastructure markets. Trading data shows that NXPI opened at $303.55 on Thursday, with a 50-day moving average at $215.23 and a 200-day moving average at $219.37. The stock currently holds a market capitalization of $76.64 billion and a price-to-earnings ratio of 29.05.